This episode of Neo Reality Collective is brought to you by The Everyday Fan. Check out their content and a passionate group of content creators getting together to create content for the growing community of pop culture, fan base, fandoms, and especially sports such as football, basketball, baseball, professional wrestling, and MMA fantasy sport. Control your content and share your story around the world today.
Eric Brown, the creator of the NRE brand, gives his insight and thoughts on the world of comic books, gaming, tech, and media industries as the host of Neo Reality Collective. Experience a slew of regular episodes covering news and pop culture, along with reviews and editorial pieces showcasing the best and worst of our ever-expanding multimedia world.
Hey everyone, it's been a long while since I was last doing content. So to make a very, very long, complicated story short, I had plans to do a massive release of videos and content on YouTube and podcasting, but then I fell sick during the week off I had, and I had to take another week off just to recover. And that really ate away at my schedules at work, so I couldn't do a thing. And on the wrestling front, I had virtually lost almost all passion for the industry because of how insane everyone's gotten over fucking wrestling. And it was a pretty depressing time. I felt unenthused to make videos, to make podcasts, to cover stuff. I had a bunch of episodes planned at one point, and I just got so done. Like, I tried to do a review of Ultimate Invasion, a re-review of sorts, since I only did the first issue from Hickman and Brian Hitch, and I clearly didn't ever release that. Like, I had the first part done, but I might go back to that down the road, but we'll see. But I've been mostly focusing on myself. I do Twitter still, so still calling it that. Elon, suck it. And I've been having to go ahead and reevaluate where I want to take this stuff. Like, yeah, it was like, it's been over 100 days since I last made video content or any type of content. Been mostly focusing on myself and all that stuff, so I'm not sure where the future holds for me. I've been doing this for 9 years. Like, it'll be 10 next year, 2025. And plus the world is constantly making me depressed. That and what happened in July. And then what happened in August. What almost happened in August. Then my birthday came around and I'm realizing I'm turning 30 soon, next year. So yeah, it's been a thing. But we're here now. Hopefully things are slowly but surely hopefully going to get back on track. I had so much planned at one point and I just scrapped most of it. We'll see what happens. We're going to take this as we go. Take this one step at a time. So, hello everyone, this is your host Eric Brown of Neo Reality Entertainment, of hosting Neo Reality Collective Pop Culture News and Reviews Talk. This is sort of an outdated episode. Let's just be honest, this is an outdated episode because what we're getting here is from the week of during the last 2 weeks of August that I wanted to talk about. There were some things I wanted to say, and there's even something from Comic-Con I wanted to talk about. I'm pretty sure you can take a guess what it was, since I never did talk about it. But we'll get to that. So, Game Pass. So, Microsoft decided to say that those who get Game Pass Standard won't see day one game releases up for up to a full year, if not longer, after they launch, as part of the Xbox Wire posting. So yeah, this was part of that whole standard reveal tier that they made that doesn't come with the option for day one releases, trying to incentivize more people to buy the Ultimate Edition of Xbox Game Pass, and then they raised the prices, so that sucked. And especially since this is also part of their anticipating title launch for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 in the Microsoft era, since that's going to be coming on Game Pass, so that's pretty awesome. I played the beta. It was pretty good. I kicked a lot of ass and took a lot of names. I only lost less than half of the matches I played, so that's saying something. And I did a lot of good kills, so I think I'm doing good in this omnidirectional Call of Duty era we're doing. Oh, man. Meanwhile, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which was their big updated release for Indiana Jones and all that nonsense, had a shocking moment occur where they announced that not only will it be coming for Xbox and plus coming to Game Pass, on December 9, 2023, it will be released for Xbox. But in spring of 2025, it will be on PlayStation 5. PlayStation's getting all the games now. We're doomed, man. We're doomed! Probably, I don't know. And I don't think anyone really cares in the grand spectrum of things. But, yeah, when I heard this announcement, I was like, yeah, I kind of saw this coming, considering that Microsoft's kind of handed in their towel with the console war and don't really care anymore. They're pretty much were like, look, we are on the side of profit. We don't care about your console wars. We don't care about any of that. I'm sure that's not going to bite anyone in the ass later for consumers. I'm like, it's not like PlayStation 5, it's going to have an update that's going to be absurd prices, right? Right? But yeah, Indiana Jones, the game is set between the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, and I'm just indifferent towards it. I've never played the game, and I never watched the movie, so I have no real opinion on it. Not only that, at a Gamescom, it was announced that Mafia will be having another game set in Sicily in the 1900s. And yeah, the origins of the organized crime called Mafia the Old Country, a gritty mob story set in the brutal underworld of 1900s Sicily. Fight to survive in this dangerous, unforgiving era of action brought to life by authentic realism and rich storytelling that the critically acclaimed Mafia series is known for. And yeah, people were pretty shocked to hear about this, but oh man, considering all the re-releases and remasterings they were doing, I kind of saw this coming a little bit. But we also got more good news for the hero shooter Marvel Rivals, set to release for December. Yes, I sadly did not get a chance to play the beta. I wanted to play as Magic and kick ass. But life sucked, so that happened. Set to launch on December 6, 2024. It also will be coming to Xbox, so all of us Xbox players won't be left behind. So I'm excited for Marvel Rivals. It has a lot of good things going for it, trying to add some new elements to the hero shooter stuff. And let's be real, I hope it surpasses Overwatch. Now we just need DC to catch up. Meanwhile, Borderlands 4 was announced, and I'm pretty sure everyone's depressed about that because considering what happened with Borderlands, the movie, and how that sucked, people aren't as invested in this, it seems. Like, I heard the trailer announcement, but I didn't really see much of a trend on Twitter, though to be fair, Twitter is broken for everybody at this point. But yeah, when I heard Borderlands 4 was announced, I was like, meh. Yeah, and this was the opening night for Gamescom for this. This was one of the first few things announced instantaneously. So when I heard that, I was like, okay. I never played any of the Borderlands except for Tales from the Borderlands from Telltale Games, the first one. which I enjoyed, and they came back for Borderlands, and some of the characters came back for Borderlands 3, but then we never really got resolution for what was supposedly going to be a sequel. And then there was another sequel made that was telling another different story. I didn't play it, so I have no opinion on it. Meanwhile, Hiroshi Taki, I'm pretty sure I butchered that, sorry. Yeah, back to that. So considering the poor abysmal sales of Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, which I enjoyed the hell out of that last game, out of the Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth game, they announced that future games in the franchise will likely come to PC day one because it's not really selling so well, even though they're critically acclaimed and popular. Geez, I wonder, and this is talking about all the huge fall in profits. This was a decision that was made to shift to the multi-platform strategy, so maybe we'll get Final Fantasy 7, whatever the last game in the trilogy will be called, on Xbox, so I'm looking forward to that. Speaking of games coming to Xbox, Genshin Impact is coming with their in a new trailer promoting their 5.0 update on August 28th. And it will be coming to Xbox on November 20th. So yeah, there was supposed to be a Switch port, but it never came out. I'm pretty sure I can take a guess why, because Genshin Impact is a big game and Nintendo Switch probably can't handle it. So probably they're gonna have to wait till after the big Switch Pro ever comes out. But yeah, Genshin Impact has been a very popular game. I did tend to try it at one point, but I just didn't really get the energy for it. But yeah, especially since it's a gacha game and whatnot, and microtransactions are up the wazoo. Oh man. So there was a bit of an incident with Activision because everyone hates Activision. You would think after Bobby Kotick was gone and Microsoft took over that things would hopefully improve. Again, hopefully. So, Activision heard about a Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer mod called H2M. So, it was announced that it was going to come out soon. Everyone was excited. People even were bringing it, Modern Warfare Remastered was going to be a special multiplayer mod for Modern Warfare Remastered, which sought to revive the MW2 2009 release for multiplayer on PC, and had a huge amount of interest. People were buying the Modern Warfare Remastered game just for this game, and I was like, yeah. That's awesome. You're getting sales, Microsoft's making money, Activision's making money with this thing, especially since it's a game that's nearly 2 decades old, and god damn, I'm old. And the developers no longer support it, so what's the point in taking about that? And then on the eve of its launch, Activision launched a cease and desist. At the last minute, they just did that. And Activision's reasoning is essentially because of according to Watchful Wolf, the project lead and the person who received the cease and desist via email, claimed that Activision told him more or less this. Watchful Wolf claimed this, Activision is claiming that. So Watchful Wolf said, essentially because of the popularity H2M was gaining and how close it is to Black Ops 6 releasing and the marketing in the beta, they did not want H2M to interfere with possible sales of Black Ops 6. You realize they could just buy both, or you could just lower the price for the game that's decades old, or even the remastered that was very old now. IGN had to go and verify the cease and desist sent to him, and Activision was told Developers are constantly hard at work creating and maintaining the Call of Duty games, and projects like the H2N mods threaten to take away from their efforts. Who's still working on Modern Warfare 2 2009, and who's also working on Modern Warfare Remastered? Like, you dumped that after microtransactions were dropped. So now the remastered game has been destroyed on Steam, and oh man, despite the vagueness, the upshot is that the cease and desist has sadly killed the H2M project, and the Watchful Wolf has announced that he is walking away from Call of Duty modding because Activision doesn't want to just fucking hire him. Instead, he plans to make video games of his own, although has yet to announce any concrete plans. See, this is the thing that pisses me off about both Nintendo and Activision, is that they have these fans who make these awesome mods and modifications to the game, and some that seek to restore the multiplayer to not be Hackersville constantly. And here's the thing. If I was the head of Nintendo or the head of Activision, I'd be fucking loving these people and be like, do you want a job? I'll give you a job. You can or just give them free reign if they don't want the job, because hell, these games are old. We're only still making money off of it. Mods will just, and the fans can just do the stuff for us, and we'll still make money at the end of the day. Like, that's the thing that pisses me off. Like, this is sort of those things where I see these big fan-created works that were in development for years, and then people go ahead and corporate suits go in and stop it, even though they had to have known it was on the deck for years, and then they just wanted to demoralize them because, well, fuck all of us. But it's just one of those things I wish stopped happening, but I do not work in corporate. And probably never will. Meanwhile, the author of The Witcher has finished their first book in the series since 2013. The next book in the series, probably because after the disaster that was The Witcher books, that The Witcher Netflix series, here's the thing about this. I'm just gonna say it. When I heard that he was writing a new Witcher book, I just wanted to just think to myself, headcanon wise, that he's doing this despite Netflix, because of Netflix's whole, what, you think we should just go and borrow from the source material? You nuts? They don't understand it. We need to oversimplify it and even add a multiversal element. What? Nothing? So, the book is set to release in early 2025, following a debate in Poland in late 2024. Yay. So, he literally pulled a Thanos and says, fine, I'll do it myself. Meanwhile, George R.R. Martin. We all remember George R.R. Martin, Grimm. He revealed that if there was anything he would change about the Game of Thrones books, the Song of Ice and Fire series, he would just say, I have them finished. Oh, damn. I would like to mention that this was supposed to come out 3 years after A Dance with Dragons in 2014, so it was supposed to come out in 2017, and it's been 10 years since the last book, and George R.R. Martin is probably losing his mind, having to be reminded of that constantly. So condolences on that front, man. Just tell us how the books are going to end, because let's be real, you're probably not going to make it to A Dream of Spring. You don't even have a single page written for that because, well, you didn't want to do anything. You wanted to finish Winds of Winter, and if you did A Dream of Spring, that's going to swamp even more stuff to you. And I'd just be like, just tell us the ending. I know you don't want to tell the ending, but just tell us. Like, I don't think anyone would be mad if you told us before you passed. And no one's going to really top your skill in writing in this to go ahead and finish the great work. So yeah, just tell us. It would be in everyone's best interest if you just told us what's going to be the ending. And if you somehow are able to, by miracle, tell us how the story ends, I think everyone will be satisfied. But let's move on from annoyance, frustrations, and creative things, especially with all the TV projects he's doing, and that means we're never going to get the endings. So, The Acolyte. Remember that? The Acolyte? I have not watched the show, but I saw the reactions. It was the thing. Let's just say that. And it's ended now. And it's been canceled. No season 2 for Disney Plus. So yeah, The Acolyte will not be continuing, with Lucasfilms opting not to proceed with the second season of the Star Wars offshoot starring, I can't pronounce their name, as Deadline reported and the sources from Deadline told. And so here's the thing I found out about the show. It had more money than Revenge of the Sith. It had a $180 million budget for 8 episodes. And now there's another divide going on in the Star Wars community. Those who want to revive the series and bring it back for another run. And there are those who just don't care anymore. Like, I've been pretty much given up on Star Wars. I stopped watching The Bad Batch after the first season. I stopped watching the live action stuff after the events of Book of Boba Fett that derailed all the momentum it had. I didn't watch the next season of The Mandalorian. Here's the thing. I don't care to look up anything going on in the Disney canon because, oh wait, everything's gonna go wrong soon, so who cares what these characters go through and what success they make? I could watch Ahsoka right now and then remember, oh yeah, Ahsoka's either gonna disappear and let the galaxy burn, or she's gonna end up dead, which ruins any chance of making an emotional impact for me. Way to go, J.J. Abrams and Disney management. So yeah, I've just been in a state of massive indifference. I had hoped they would just break off the timeline again and make a third timeline, but that doesn't seem to be possible because Disney doesn't want to do that investment, even though they'll spend $180 million on a fucking show, on an 8-episode series, and they had plans for more. Or we could just be like Amazon and spend $1 billion for every season. So, moving on from my rage about Star Wars these days, Michael Keaton revealed that he didn't care about the Batgirl movie being canceled. Oh no, so terrible. And talks about how he likes the directing duo, but he honestly, for him, didn't care. He just got a big fun check out of it. And yeah, I can understand, like, he probably just doesn't care as much like he used to about this, but considering how the Flash movie went, I wouldn't blame him. But yeah, there were plans for the DCU. EU had things been different, but he doesn't really care, it seems. He was just, He did feel bad for the directors, but Flash probably destroyed his love. I wouldn't be surprised, though. Meanwhile, Final Fantasy XVI PC port was officially announced with a September release date for September 17th, and a demo came out for it, so cool for that. Looking forward to seeing how that goes out. Back to Star Wars, because I need to get pissed off again. Quantic Dreams' Star Wars Eclipse, which is set in the High Republic era, and I must stress Quantic Dreams has a history of problems, let's just go with that. Quantic Dreams lost their lead writer, who was the lead writer of Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human. And he was going to do the same thing for Star Wars Eclipse. And now he just says, I'm leaving to form my own studio. Yeah. And the vice president of marketing told IGN in 2023 that it still exists, saying, can I say it still exists? Because it exists, it's just not ready, it's simmering. That's not fulfilling any confidence. Heck, you're making less progress than KOTOR Remake. And that's saying a lot. So, James Gunn, the director and writer of Superman, which was originally going to be called Superman Legacy, because calling it that in the first film would be confusing. But, yeah, Superman, which was going to be the beginning of Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters, wrapped up filming recently. And James Gunn said that the reason why he managed to finish up so soon, and hopefully not do any rewrites and reshoots, was because he wanted to give the visual effects artists time to do their jobs properly. Because, let's be real, they have been struggling for many years now, and Marvel hasn't really helped anything. Marvel Studios hasn't helped much in that regard, because when, the director of Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder went ahead and was making jokes about the virtual effects teams' struggles, and many of them voting to unionize, that probably didn't help matters. And meanwhile, Morrison, who played Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett and also played Jango Fett and the clones in the live-action Star Wars movies, has to come out that due to the poor reception of the Book of Boba Fett, he is now returning to Mandalorian and Grogu film. Dick move, Disney. Like, you're gonna blame him for the writing of the Book of Boba Fett? Like, you have great actors, you have great teams, you have a great set going on, you just have bad writing going on. Or book committees saying, no, we can't have this, we can't do this, we can't be optimistic. If we be optimistic, then we have to change the timeline and give everyone misery checks. And then apologize to Daisy Ridley, saying, hey, sorry we screwed up your storyline and everything we had planned for you, but we can't admit we're wrong on this, so we're just going to go ahead and full throttle this. So, X-Men 97, the showrunner, DeMeo, I'm pretty sure I butchered that, but I do not know how to respond to him regarding this stuff, because, remember how he was fired before the premiere of X-Men 97 and there was no public explanation given? Well, he's claiming that he was stripped of season 2 credits, even though he held right the whole season for that. And he cited that Marvel sent a letter saying they stripped any season 2 credits due to the post he made about X-Men fan art for Pride Month in June. Which, if that's true, what the hell? Especially after all the fighting they had to do with Ron DeSantis shithead. Marvel came out, and Disney as well, came out saying that there were egregious investigation findings of abuse and misconduct. So we're at a he said, she said, and pretty much a destructive disaster waiting to happen. Got it. And now we get to something that happened back in the end of July. Something that I've been wanting to cover for a minute now. Well, hold on. Let me go before that. There's a new project at Gamescom that was announced called Secret Level. It will be a adult anime series, so pretty damn awesome. Animation anthology series that I heard about. It's being produced by Tim Miller, and it's featuring the team of Blur Studios. Holy shit, they're good. They're good at their animation projects. I could be wrong, but did his Blur Studios go ahead and produce the Star Wars The Old Republic stuff? Yeah, they did. Just need to be sure on that. And they also helped with Sonic the Hedgehog's restoration and Age of Ultron. So you could say they're very ahead of the curve. Yes. So they're very good at their animation production and CGI visual effects. And I'm still trying to wonder how the hell they have not been given the reins to make an animated Star Wars movie. That will sell gangbusters. That will make hot money. Probably Disney will screw up the writing team. But yeah, there's a series by them called Secret Level. That will be an animated anthology series, an adult writing. It will consist of 15 stories set in worlds of different video games. And the games that were announced was Armored Core, Crossfire, Dungeons & Dragons, Exodus, Honor of Kings, Mega Man, New World from Amazon, Pac-Man, the PlayStation brand as a whole, Sufu, or whatever, Spelunky, The Outer Worlds, Unreal Tournament, Warhammer 40,000. Now, I mentioned only 14 of them. Where's the 15th one? Because I'm pretty sure that other game that's mentioned is never going to be brought up at all because everyone just forgot about it, and it's dead. Ain't that right, Concord? And one of the episodes that hints at Keanu Reeves showing up in the Armored Core episode of the anthology. And they keep not saying he's going to show up, but yeah, it got a lot of media attention, which doesn't surprise me considering Keanu Reeves is Keanu Reeves. You're breathtaking! So, let's get back to this last bit. Back in July 28th, back in the last week of July at San Diego Comic-Con of 2024, there has been a significant update given to the Avengers films that were being in production for the ending of the multiversal saga. And the Russo brothers are coming back to direct both Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. My God. And they're also being joined by Stephen McFeely, who also is known for his work on Captain America films and Avengers Endgame. Now, you're probably wondering, wait, where's Avengers Kang Dynasty? No, that's dead now. After what happened with with Kang himself, the Jonathan Majors, after getting fired following his trial and conviction and whatnot. So Doomsday has now killed the Kang Dynasty. Now you're probably wondering, why is it called Doomsday? For those who are somehow blissfully unaware, well, that's because we're finally. Dr. Doom has arrived. My God. Dr. Doom. It can't be. We're finally gonna get Dr. Doom in the MCU. And it's who now? So, there was a bunch of people dressed up as Dr. Doom showing up for this big festival, a showcasing of who's playing the role, and revealing the Dr. Doom mask is none other than Robert Downey Jr. I have things I had thought about when I saw that. See, here's the thing about Dr. Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr. Now, I know what people are going to say. Oh, it's a multiverse tale, so they could obviously get away with that. Okay, you're right on that front. But people kind of didn't want Doctor Doom, because this also continues the whole multiverse angle where they revealed a while back that the Fantastic Four film the first steps, as they renamed it, is set to take place on their own separate universe, and they're supposed to deal with Galactus, and Doctor Doom is going to show up in it, played by Robert Downey Jr., who is not going to be Tony Stark of that universe. He's instead going to be Victor Von Doom, and it's like people kind of got mixed about it. You have the public crowd reaction being all jovial to see the return of their hero becoming a villain again. Becoming the villain now. Even though I kind of would have loved it more if he did come back as Superior Iron Man. Though some people also wanted Tom Cruise to be Superior Iron Man, which would have been awesome. But that will never happen probably at this point. So, yeah, Robert Downey Jr. said this: new mask, same task. What can I tell you? I like playing complicated characters. And it's kind of weird. Not like I don't see him playing a good Doctor Doom. It's just that I'm worried that that when they do his scenes, they're gonna make him do some comedic moments instead of just being Doctor Doom. Like, I know Doctor Doom has his moments that lead to funny moments. Like, when in the animated show of Avengers, they had a scene where the Wasp was constantly trying to goad Doctor Doom into getting pissed off at her, and Doctor Doom just responded back with a monotone voice of, "Yeah, I am not doing that. Yeah, I know what you're doing. It's not gonna work. I'm not that kind of villain." Which, in theory, is funny, but it still matches Doctor Doom just being so unenthused by other characters trying to be humorous with him. And, yeah. So, yeah, Doctor Doom is going to kill the Kang Dynasty, it seems. Which means the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania thing is going to be an awkward moment for many. Yeah. And people were also mad because they were like, can't we just get a Romanian actor to play him? Because, let's be real, that's been something I've been hearing a lot. Like, people want a Romanian actor to play Nightwing or Doctor Doom because it's such an integral part of their character, which, fine, I understand that bit. In fact, at one point it was reported the person who plays Thrawn was going to be playing the role of Doctor Doom, but the role was eventually just given to Robert Downey Jr. And Robert Downey Jr. is apparently making a big fat paycheck out of it. So, yeah. So, I don't know how people will treat this thing when Doctor Doom does show up in the MCU or the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse during these events, but I'll see it to believe that he can pull off a good Doctor Doom and not Tony Stark it up or MCU-ify it. But and people cited like, wait, but Doctor Doom was by Tony Stark at one point in the comics. No. And just because Doctor Doom at one point became a hero and was known as the infamous Iron Man because because Tony Stark was in a coma because bad writing committee wanted to tie into Civil War by Captain America film. That doesn't really mean that that Doctor Doom is Iron Man, Tony Stark. He's Victor Von Doom, he's not Tony Stark. And then the writer for the Ultimates books, which are pretty freaking awesome so far, a much better Ultimate Universe than the last one we got, who's been writing the Ultimates, Den's Camp, I'm pretty sure I failed that, wrote an issue of Ultimates, issue 4, which focuses on the origin of that version of Doctor Doom, which is Reed Richards, and he said that this book would actually help explain how Robert Downey Jr. is the Doctor Doom of this reality, which makes me think, when I read it, was, so are we bringing the Maker into this? Because that's the only logical explanation I'm taking from that. Like, it's a great issue, a tragic story, but I'm just like, are you hinting that the Maker is going to play a role in this? Because if the Maker plays a role in this Doctor Doom's origin story, I'll be all for it. That will probably fix a lot of the issues I have. So, yeah, I would be all for if the Maker is the one pulling the strings in the multiverse saga in his own nefarious evil plans. That would be awesome if they do that. So, yeah, this was your host, Eric Brown of Neo Reality Collective Pop Culture News and Reviews Talk. Like I said, we're taking this one step at a time. I'll see y'all again. Thank you to the guys at The Everyday Fan for helping out with this, and I'll be hopefully seeing y'all again. Stay tuned for this outro, and I'll see y'all again next time. Peace, take care, and take care of yourselves and loved ones.
Was our latest edition of Neo Reality Collective. Be sure to follow and support NRE creator Eric Brown on Twitter and YouTube. Check the links in the description below, and we'll see you all next time.